Welcome to another episode of Ask the Placenta Lady. My name is Jody, but I'm usually just called the Placenta Lady. In fact, I just came from a couple of clients, so I am in my Placenta Lady outfit right now. I've worked with new moms since about 2006, and I've heard pretty much every question under the sun, which is why we say no question is too strange for the Placenta Lady. Joining me today is Allison Castaneda. Allison is a PVI placenta encapsulation specialist in North Aurora, Illinois.
Hi, thank you for having me. Yeah, like you said, I do placenta encapsulation in North Aurora and all kind of the surrounding areas. I kind of put an hour limit of a drive for myself. And then I also do doula services, and I work with women and teaching them childbirth education classes through Informed Beginnings. So Informed Beginnings is a company that is kind of like Bradley or Lamaze in that way. And so they have their own ideas. It is partner-based coaching as far as birth coaching goes. It does focus on natural birth, but the idea of Informed Beginnings is informed choices for the birth that you are given. So we really try and set mothers up to be able to make the best choices for them in the moment.
Thanks, Allison. And we're going to be relying on some of your various skill sets here for this episode of Ask the Placenta Lady. Our question for this episode is, I hear that vaginal birth can kind of wreak havoc down there. What can I do right away to help my vulva feel better after the birth? Which is an amazing question, and we have lots of suggestions for you to prepare for that and to help your immediate physical recovery once you deliver via vaginal birth. I love frozen pads for those first few days after you deliver your baby. You can actually unwrap them, unfold them, and then you can sprinkle them. Some people use straight water. You can use straight witch hazel. You can use a combination of those. Some people even mix in various essential oils and things, but I love witch hazel. You just wet the pad until it's damp, and then you can stack them and put them in a Ziploc and put them right in the freezer. They will make the entire area feel better immediately. So make up several sets of these before your baby arrives, and you'll be all set once you have the baby. So they'll be all ready to go. Witch hazel also works amazingly well for hemorrhoids. You can buy the hemorrhoid pads at the store. Tux is a typical brand, but it's easy to make your own, and it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper for you. If you like that style, you can get just like the gauze bandages, and you can also just soak those with witch hazel, roll them up, and tuck them between your cheeks or wherever you are feeling that discomfort, and they are going to help directly on contact. So that's kind of immediate relief. Another suggestion that I always give postpartum people is go ahead and just buy Depends. They are the disposable underwear, and they're going to be super helpful for you in those first few days when you're recovering from childbirth and delivery. So then you don't have to kind of mess with pads, and you're not going to ruin your own underwear, and they may be hideous looking, but they are super helpful. So stock up on some Depends, and they're going to be a lifesaver during those first few days when you have a very heavy flow and the lochia is coming and everything. If you deliver in a hospital and you want to use ice directly on your vulva, perineum, the whole area, you can also just put straight ice from the hospital into a newborn diaper and tuck that inside those mesh panties that they give you. Also a fabulous fashion statement. But it's really going to help your whole area feel better immediately, your whole vulva area. You can even take a couple of those home from the hospital if you didn't grab Depends, and use those at home as well. If it hurts to urinate immediately after delivery, get just a squeeze bottle and just have it filled with water or warm water. Keep that, right near the toilet. So when you start to, when you sit on the toilet and you start to go, you just squeeze that area toward the top of your vulva area where your urethral opening is, and then you can release, and it just really helps cut that, the feeling of that stinging down, and can be a real relief in those early days when you're recovering. Allison, do you have some suggestions to contribute?
Those are great suggestions. I definitely suggest all those to my clients and my students. Something else that's fun that not many people know about is banana peel. The inside part that would be touching the actual fruit that you eat is full of potassium. So if you take about an inch cut out of the banana peel and kind of tuck it between your cheeks, it gives really great hemorrhoid relief. And then things like perineum tea are wonderful. You can make the padsicles that you mentioned with the perineum tea instead of water or just witch hazel. You can mix the perineum tea with the witch hazel. You can put those in those spray peri bottles that you mentioned, and that really helps speed healing. Things like golden salves, it's made out of a herb called golden seal, is something that most of the midwives I know swear by. And using those golden salves are, from personal experience, top notch. And then really the last thing I always suggest is making sure you stay hydrated. The more hydrated you are, the more quickly your tissues heal. And the more hydrated you are, the more dilute your urine is. So if you, even though you are potentially urinating more frequently, the urine itself is more diluted, so that stinging is not as prevalent as if you are trying to avoid drinking to avoid urinating.
That is a really great tip. I always try and push hydration on my clients, especially if you are using your placenta for your postpartum recovery and you're taking the placenta capsules. It is so essential to stay hydrated with the use of the capsules as well. So I always have, when I tell my clients kind of instructions for how to take the capsules, I always say, please drink at least a full glass or a bottle of water with every single dose, and then making sure that you stay hydrated. So hydration is so essential for milk production, for your recovery, everything. So sometimes, when we don't have babies yet, we can kind of slack on it, but it is so important for that postpartum recovery for sure. Thanks for being on the show today, Allison.
Thank you so much for having me, Jody.
If people want to reach you, how would they do that?
My business is called Mother Lovin Doula Services, and it incorporates all of my business services, the placenta encapsulation, as well as my doula services and my childbirth education courses. They can go to my Facebook page, Mother Lovin Doula Services. They can also go to my website, which is www.motherlovin,
That's awesome, Allison. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to this episode of Ask the Placenta Lady. You can find us on the web at asktheplacentalady.com. We would love to hear your questions. Our main website is placentabenefits.info. You can also find us on Facebook, Placenta Benefits, or on Instagram, Placenta Benefits. If you would like to find a PBI, placenta encapsulation specialist in your area, an easy URL for that is just placenta.directory. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you for the next episode of Ask the Placenta Lady.